Well, hello and happy Friday, one and all. My name is Lenny Hernandez. Today is May 27th, 2022, which is just a wild number that I can hardly believe it. 2022 feels like we're in the future. To the flying car for my moon meeting, robot butler, I say! Okay, one day maybe, but even though we don't have moon meetings yet, we do have some very good positive news and lovely stories from AAPI Senior Living communities. Today, we're talking about the many centenarians at the Boulevard St. Charles and the special guests who stopped by to wish them well. We're congratulating some of our beloved school grads who stopped by the Castlewood Senior Living. We're saying hello to CEO Stephanie Harris to learn about the conference she took part in this week. We're checking in on AAPI celebrations at the communities, and we are rejoicing with COO Amanda Tweten because she published her very first children's book. We're gonna need a rocket to cover all the ground we got in this episode, so strap in tight because we are blasting off. Welcome to Aero Nicely News. Our first story of the day is about a pretty remarkable circumstance over at the Boulevard Senior Living in St. Charles, Missouri. Now, we don't know if there's something in the water or if that area has a long lineage of elves, but we now have count them, 5 residents at the Boulevard who are over 100 years old. Marge, Joe, Violet, Velma, and Lucille all turned 100 years old or older this year. One is 105, 2 are 102, another is 101, and one just joined the Centenarian Club. To honor the remarkable circumstances of having all these women all under one roof living together, the Boulevard held a birthday bash welcoming the one, the only Fred Bird from the St. Louis Cardinals. Go Cardinals! Everyone was thrilled to see the local superstar and had a wonderful time honoring these women. We'd like to join in on the chorus and also wish all 5 of you the happiest of birthdays. We are grateful for your grace and your wisdom. It's graduation season! Students all across the country are joyously celebrating finishing high school, college, grad school, and more. We know that many of you out there either are graduating yourselves or have loved ones who are doing so. So allow us to say congratulations. Over at the Castlewood Senior Living in Nixa, Missouri, the residents had a visit from some recent graduates, and they were so thrilled to host them. Though these were a little shorter than most. Yes, Castlewood's preschool partners from the Adventures of Learning stopped by in their caps and gowns to celebrate with the residents. Castlewood seniors became their bonus grandparents a year ago and have loved seeing them learn and grow. Residents presented each graduate with a goodie bag, and in turn, the kids surprised them with their own diplomas. So congratulations to the graduates and to their bonus grandparents at the Castlewood. AAPI Senior Living's very own founder and CEO Stephanie Harris recently was a featured panelist at the Senior Living Innovation Forum in Napa, California. The Senior Living Innovation Forum is where the industry's boldest leaders come together to have conversations, explore ideas, and tackle the great unknowns ahead. Well, to tell us more about the experience, I sat down with Stephanie Harris herself.
What really stood out to me is how many people are, just hungry to take that next stage of advancement and innovating senior living services. And, it's been a tough few years now with COVID, and everyone is battling the desire to the want for more employees.
What was there anything specific that you heard that you were like, that is going to be something that we are going to do?
A lot of it of operators are starting to explore robots. We actually, have one that we're going to be deploying in a test at one of our locations in Joplin, Missouri, very soon. And it is amazing to me in just a 12-month period of time in attending conferences, the shift that was talked about as a future grab to how it's a reality at several different communities. And I think that's not only going to be in senior housing, but we're going to see the shortages in staffing causing lots of businesses to have to think, how can we take tasks that are more manual and allow more time for individual engagement?
Is there any other giant takeaways?
We did meet a group based in Quebec that we were really excited about. And what this Quebec company does is they have a process of automating resident insights to be driving direction of the operation. And they have a committed process to receive information and quickly deploy solutions to that and create that consistent, constant feedback loop. And I'm excited to see the things that we learned in our discussions with them and how we may be able to deploy that with some work we've already placed as in building an infrastructure to really truly make sure that we are nimble and responsive to the needs of the residents. I thought that was just such a cool takeaway and was probably my single purpose for attending that conference and participating in this conversation.
Well, Stephanie, I bet that was an amazing experience and conference to be at. And you know what I always say? Bring on the robots! Next, we're going to take a look at Aero Community's AAPI Month celebrations. Asian American and Pacific Islanders Month runs through the month of May to pay tribute to the generations of Asian and Pacific Islanders who have enriched America's history and are instrumental in its future. The way our community celebrated those cultures is through Aero's culinary departments, making delicious foods that originated in those regions. They made incredible dishes such as chicken and nasal, beef pho, grilled mahi-mahi, chicken sauté, canton pica, and so much more. These delicious foods were served all month long and was accompanied by information about their countries of origin and AAPI Month. We hope that everyone had a wonderful month and was able to celebrate this heritage and culture. And for our final story of the day, it's about a little book called A Princess of Dragons, The Matilda Story. The book is about, you guessed it, a princess of dragons named Matilda, who lives in a very magical world of fairies, dragons, and other colorful creatures. A princess with the gift to grant wishes for her friends, Matilda has a special wish of her very own, and it looks like it will take a grand adventure to make it come true. Now, sure, that sounds like a charming and delightful story, but why is it being featured here on the Nicely News? Well, this book was written and published by none other than Aero's very own COO, Amanda Tweten. It's a project that she has been working on for half a decade now, and we all can attest that the wait was worth it. The book is a beautiful and heartwarming book, and it couldn't have turned out any better. To commemorate the release of the book, Aero threw a bash at the Butterfly House in Chesterfield, Missouri. The party was complete with food, face painting, book readings, dancing, and of course, butterflies.
There you stand, 10 feet tall. I will say, I knew it all along. Your eyes wider than distance. This life is sweeter than fiction. There you stand, next to me, all at once. The rest is history. Your eyes wider than distance. This life is
Everyone had a great time celebrating Amanda's achievements, so be sure to check out the book if you don't have a copy already. It's available at bookshop.org and other major retailers, and a link can be found in the description. So click on it and go buy that book. Congratulations again, Amanda, on this wonderful accomplishment. Well, everybody, that'll do it for today's episode of Arrow Nicely News. What? You say you wanted more news? Oh, well, go out, make your own nice news stories then, huh? And then, of course, send them my way because I want to hear them. But until next week, everybody, that's all for your old pal Lenny here. Have a great weekend, a wonderful week next week, and we'll see you next Friday.